How I would fix Thor in the MCU. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into another Fixerr-upper episode, and this time, we're tackling the god of thunder himself, Thor. Now, I know some people started feeling the Thor fatigue around Thor, Ragnarok, and don't get me wrong, it's a fun movie, but that's where I think the problems with Thor's character really start showing up. So let's talk about how I'd fix Thor in the MCU, not the movies as a whole, just Thor's character arc. Alright, let's start with Ragnarok. Now, I actually think Thor's personality here is fine, the confidence, the charm, but they went way too heavy on the jokes. Every serious moment gets undercut with humor, and it kills a lot of emotional weight. So, first change, less jokes, more balance. Let's talk about his fight with Hulk. If you've seen my Fix Hulk video, you already know where I'm going with this. Instead of Thor losing because the Grandmaster cheated, I'd have Thor lose because he hasn't mastered his new power yet. He's close, he's right there, but he loses control at the last second. That shows growth potential instead of just making him look dumb. Next up, the shock device. It shouldn't be an electric shock collar, that's ridiculous for the literal god of thunder. Instead, make it a neural device that tricks the brain into feeling like it's being shocked. That way it makes sense why it still works on him without feeling silly. Now, about Hela, some people don't like that Thor couldn't beat her. So here's how I'd fix that. After Thor finally masters his new power, he's now on par with Hela. They have this massive, epic fight, and Thor actually wins. But, plot twist, Hela had a contingency plan. If she couldn't win, she ordered her undead army back in the vault to revive Surtur to destroy Asgard. Her mindset, if I can't rule it, no one will. Meanwhile, Loki's already at the vault to grab the Tesseract. We see him do that just before Surtur goes giant. Loki uses the Tesseract to teleport back to the ship. Hela gives that evil grin, and Thor just says, "Have it your way." Then, boom, they escape Asgard before its destruction. But this time, it's not goofy. No silly jokes, no, it can be rebuilt, oh no wait it can't be, lines. Just a solid, emotional moment. Thor thanks Loki for coming back with the ship and tells him he believes in second chances. Then he officially becomes king, not because he wants to, but because he needs to. Avengers, Infinity War. I'm not even gonna touch Infinity War, Thor's great there. Moving on. Avengers, Endgame. Alright, now we get to Endgame. Everything plays out the same up until the 5-year time skip. Now, look, some people like Fat Thor. Most people don't. Personally, I think it was a bad call. Depression isn't a joke, and that whole thing felt like one. So in my version, Thor's not fat, but he's clearly depressed. He's the king of New Asgard, but he barely leaves his house. He only shows up for official business. He's quiet, bitter, and worn out. Still drinks, still hurting, but not treated as a punchline. When we see him, he's dressed in all black. He doesn't play video games or act like a goofball, he's just done. He doesn't even believe in the time heist idea. He tags along only because his friends ask him to, not because he thinks it'll work. And when he goes back to 2013 Asgard, that scene with his mom still happens, but it's serious. No silly jokes, no awkward breakdowns. Just a broken man seeing his mother again. He still tears up, because come on, that's his mom, but it's played with real emotion. After that, he gets a bit of hope back and calls for Mjolnir. Same moment as the original, but now it hits harder. Back in 2023, everything goes mostly the same, just minus the jokes. When Thanos attacks, Thor's not fat, but he's still struggling, and here's why. 1. This Thanos never used the Infinity Stones. In my version the stones weakens the body. This is why 2018 Thanos had to remove his armor, because it would have slowed him down. The 2014 Thanos is not weakened physically like the 2018 Thanos. However, it should be noted the 2018 Thanos is overall more powerful due to the power and versatility from the Infinity Stones. Look at it like this: with stones there are 30% decrease in physical strength, speed, and durability but massive 50% power and versatility increase. 2. He's also wearing his full armor and using his twin blade, which in my version is made from a mix of Enru and adamantium. Yeah, that's right. First tease of adamantium in the MCU. That's why it can cut through Cap's shield. Thanos' armor, though, is still made out of Uru, because adamantium is super rare and he only had enough for the blade. So this Thanos is at his physical peak, and that's why he's able to stand toe-to-toe with Thor, Iron Man, and Cap all at once. Everything else plays out the same. Tony's snap, the funeral, but in my version, that funeral also includes a memorial for everyone who died before and after the time skip. Thor's ending. And here's a big change. Thor does not fly off with the Guardians to quote, find himself. He stays. He stays in New Asgard as king, because that's his duty. He finally accepts that role, not as a joke, but as a true leader. And yeah, no Valkyrie. Instead, we bring back Sif. Here's how that works. Remember my Hulk fix video? Loki sold Hulk to the Collector, and Sif, suspicious of Odin's weird behavior, aka Loki pretending to be him, tracks Hulk to the Grandmaster. She realizes Hulk likes being there, so she stays behind as one of the Grandmaster's enforcers, keeping an eye on things. When Thor shows up on Sakaar, she's not the one who captures him, but they reunite later after his fight with Hulk. She helps him escape, and from there, it plays out mostly the same, just without all the weird slapstick. As for Thor 4, yeah, I'm not calling it Love and Thunder. I've got a whole different plan for that, but that's a story for another video. So yeah, that's how I'd fix Thor's character up through Phase 3. Cut the jokes, give him real growth, and let him be the king he was always meant to be. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more MCU fixer-uppers, and drop a comment telling me what character I should tackle next. See you later for our next fixer-upper.